Bye-bye. I guess that's what you call van life reality. Yes, it's not like Instagram, let's be honest, but that's part of the adventure. That's what I like about living this lifestyle. Now, before the compañeros, they're on a coffee break, I think. So before they start again, let me quickly tell you that I've now been in the Valencia area for two and a half weeks. So I think I'm in the position to give you 5 tips if you want to come and visit Valencia for, with your van, van life tips. I think that I can give you 5 tips. Now, the 5th one, I have to admit, bothered me the most. I was angry when I found out. I'll explain that to you once we get to number 5. In the meantime, I think we should start with the weather. And if we are going to talk about the weather, I think we should go to the beach. So walk with me and we'll go. It's only been 2.5 weeks and it feels like an eternity already that I'm in Valencia. But when I arrived here, it was cold and dark and miserable in Berlin. It was -15 and I arrived here at +18, +19, and I was straight into my shorts and t-shirt and onto the beach. And I think the locals were looking at me thinking, oh God, another tourist. Oh, he has seen the sun. They're wearing coats and hats and these earmuffs even. And I'm thinking, okay, this is not right. And now 2 weeks later, look at me now. I'm standing here with a shirt and a shirt on top because I'm kind of nippy. It's not hot. Actually, it's still very warm. It's very pleasant. It's 20 degrees. But all of a sudden, I kind of adapted to the Valencia way of thinking, and it's not really beach weather, as you can tell. Still, I'm loving it. If you want to travel to Valencia, throughout the year, I'll try and put up a graph here somewhere where it shows you the temperatures. Now, hey, winter is perfect time for me. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. The summers are extremely hot here. They can go up to 40 degrees, and living in a van when it's 40 degrees and there's the sun beaming onto your van all day long, it can be quite daunting, or it can be quite challenging. But it is winter after all, so let's not expect too much. The great thing actually about Valencia is that it's not exuberantly hot, because that means that most people camping or looking for winter sun are even more south. So they're in Malaga or in Alicante or in Murcia, or they even go down to Morocco, which means that Valencia and its beaches, as you can tell, is kind of deserted. So it's nice and quiet. And for a loner like me, actually pretty awesome. I've got the beach to myself, what can I say? I'm all alone on a beach. Well, okay, almost all alone on a beach. It's perfect. In all the time that I've been here, it's only rained once. Only once. And to the locals here, that's an event. They plan their evening. They make it a Netflix evening. They cuddle up, get some wine, get a pizza. It's a day in because it rains. And I was just thinking like, oh damn, it rains. That's why I was trying to escape. It's all a matter of perspective in the end, isn't it? Well, after the weather, I think we need to talk about the traffic. So I passed Barcelona, remember, and I really hated it instantly because the traffic was murder. Let's call it murder. Hey, it was really bad. It was really busy. Now, having lived in Berlin and in London, I know traffic in capital cities are pretty horrendous, to be quite honest. So I was expecting the worst for Valencia, and I have to admit the traffic is really, really easy going here. It's not as busy. Okay, it's not the capital of Spain. It's the third largest city of Spain, after all. I mean, it's a very relaxed atmosphere, I would say, in traffic. I have been here now for 2.5 weeks, and I haven't heard anybody hoot yet, so I think, they're very chill. There are a couple of things that I find strange. First of all, the roundabouts. The roundabouts are really weird because they've got traffic lights on the roundabout, which is new to me. So you have to be careful. It's not like what I'm used to is when I'm on the roundabout, I've got right of way and I can just drive on. No, when you're on roundabouts in Valencia, or maybe it's everywhere in Spain, but when you're on the roundabout, you have to look out for traffic lights on that roundabout, because might be that all of a sudden you get a red light on the middle of a roundabout. That's one thing that I find strange. On the topic of roundabouts, there's another one that I find strange, which is like when you are joining a roundabout, you're in a nice little lane, one of 3, one of 4. Then once you're on the roundabout, those lanes just disappear, magically disappears. And then you just have to really whisk your way and maneuver your way. Again, they're very friendly. Maybe they see I've got a foreign number plate. I don't know. It all worked out fine, but I thought that was kind of strange too. And on the topic of traffic, another thing which they do is they look out for the green pedestrian light. As the minute the green pedestrian light goes off, they just, cars, they just drive off, even though it's still red. So that's kind of weird to me too. Now, I filmed a trip from Patacona Beach to Playa El Saler, just point of view of you sitting next to me, and I'll link that somewhere up there. And so if you want to just chill and watch the road with me, then feel free to do so. It's kind of fun because we're leaving one beach, then driving through town, and you can see the traffic and the building works, and you can even see the beautiful architecture, modern architecture of that science museum that you just drive through. So go and have a look. I'll show you a little snippet here. So I asked you on the good old YouTube whether I should name my bike, because let's be honest, it's a trusted travel companion as well as my van. The jury's still out there, really. It's 50-50 at the moment, so I haven't given it, he or she, a name yet. But when you're traveling through cities and villages and towns, you need a bike. And Valencia is perfect for biking. You could say that Valencia is a very bike-friendly city. There's dedicated bike lanes throughout the whole town, throughout the whole city. Even the whole coastline has a dedicated bike lane. And you know what? Yesterday I filmed my bike ride from Malvarosa Beach to Patacona Beach. It's about a 6-minute bike ride, really. And I've filmed it 4K, so I'll post that later, and I'll already link it in the description or up here somewhere, so that if you want to have a look what that looks like on a Sunday afternoon, then please check that out. Like I said, very bike friendly. Every driver in Spain knows that the bike riders have got priority, so wherever you go, bikes tend to have priority here in Valencia, so you feel safe here, so that's good. Like I said, there's dedicated bike lanes, and if there's not a dedicated bike lane, then you can just use the roads, and then traffic, cars, trucks will have to stay behind you. And even I've been told, I'm not sure about that, but I've been told that even if there's not a dedicated bike lane, that in emergencies you can use the pavement or the sidewalk, which would be perfect. Now, if you didn't bring your own bike, which I assume when you're traveling in a van that you do have your own bike, but if you don't have your own bike, there are rental bikes throughout town, so it is not really that difficult to find one. But for now, I'm gonna just jump on the bike. I mean, listen, bike. It is a tiny little bike, as you can see. It's a foldable bike. I have to make a special video dedicated to this bike here. It's an old DDR, and people of my generation probably will know the DDR, the former Eastern Republic of Germany. It's an old DDR foldable bike. It's made to last, and like I said, I'll probably dedicate a whole video to this little gem here. But for now, I'm just gonna jump on it and walk you through, or bike you through town. I'll see you in a minute. And of course, Valencia can be easily done on foot. Get your hiking shoes on or your walking boots on and just walk. It's healthy, it's good for you, and there's also a tram and a metro network, so you can get through town quite quickly and easily. Another thing that I noticed since I've been living in a van is the amount of rubbish or garbage that I accumulate in a day even. It's all plastic, it's all... and I must admit, where I am staying at the moment, they take cleanliness to the next level. So a positive really. Let's call this section number 3, amenities. I think they take great pride in their cleanliness here. So there is rubbish or bin collectors everywhere. So you can dump your rubbish every day somewhere and keep a clean van. So that's a positive sign. They also keep the street and the beach area pretty clean every day. So as you can see in this park, they have a bin for every bench in the park. I mean, taking it to the next level. Not that it shocked me, but another thing I discovered when you live in a van is that you just don't have a washing machine at your disposal straight away. So what I've learned, after 2.5 weeks, that it's time to get your laundry, your dirty laundry back nice and clean again. And let's be honest, I've been wearing the same clothes I find like for the last 3 weeks now. So you come to gas stations like this over here, and there are plenty of them in town, and they have a I hope you can see it, they have a, is it like there? It is. They have a laundromat service. Well, not a service, you do it yourself obviously. It's about €5 for a 8-kilo wash, and I think it's $3.50 for the tumble dryer. That's kind of the prices I paid. And to be honest, while I have a coffee in a cafe just around the corner, I can have my laundry washed. Perfect solution, I would say. And if you're the active kind of guy, there's plenty of sports to do in Valencia as well. I mean, apart from the biking and the walking that you can do here, there's sports facilities everywhere, and they're all for free. I mean, I've got like netball and volleyball and beach volleyball here. And throughout town you have these free fitness parkours where you can work out as much as you want to for free. You're never alone, but that makes it fun. You inspire each other, and I like that. Of course, when you're on the beach, there are shower facilities, which makes it good. I've also seen other van lifers doing their dishes in these showers, which you probably shouldn't do, but hey, if you're stuck for water, then that is an option. I wouldn't do it myself, but there you go. One minus, I would say, is the lack of public toilets, to be quite honest. I've rarely seen them. I actually haven't seen many of them at all. So, donde es el baño is the first thing that I learned, is like, where's the bathroom? So there you go. Most cafes and restaurants will let you use them, but yeah, there's not a lot of them around. You see, I don't even need a dog. The dogs just come to me. So for point 4 and 5, I'm taking you back to the van, back to Patacona Beach. It sounds so lovely, doesn't it? The football stadium is now finished, so I think the builders are leaving this week, so that's good. So perfect opportunity to talk about where can you park with your van in Valencia or the Valencia area. If you followed my travels, then you will have noticed that I've ended up in Alboraya, not in Valencia, but just outside Valencia at Patacona Beach, and liking it here, absolutely, until the building work started, and then I started like moving around a bit along the coastline of Valencia. And here are my top 3 tips. Basically, Patacona Beach is a beautiful place. It's got the beach just in front of me, basically. It's a very nice affluent area, so you feel safe here. Police drives at least once or twice a day. They come by and check if everything is okay, so it makes you feel safe. There's a very small van community here, which is lovely as well. Because I couldn't film my room or van tour here at the building site, I went to El Saler. El Saler, or Playa El Saler, is in the south of Valencia. I'm in the north at the moment. So in the south of Valencia, you've got El Saler Playa, and as you can see, it's close to the beach again. Vans are tolerated, or actually, you know, we take over. As you can see, it's not that busy in January or February. I really like my time there. It's very, very quiet. It's more secluded than Patacona Beach, but I love it. This is where I filmed my van tour or my room tour, and just in case you've missed that, I'll link it up here so that you can still go and have a look what the inside of my Ford Transit looks like, what I call my little house on wheels. Now, in between those two, in between Patacona and El Saler, you've got Malvarosa, which is like historically very famous. I decided not to stand there, although again very close to the beach. But as you see, the ground where you need to park isn't that level, and I didn't really feel comfortable there. So in the end, I didn't decide to stay there. So those 3 beaches are very close to town, which makes town accessible still via bike. So that's why I like those. More north you can go to Sa Playa, a very sweet, picturesque fishers village with lovely houses with different colors. But again, it's just outside the bikeable area, I would say. And to the south of El Saler, there's another place called Albufera, which are the iconic rice fields basically, and you could park there as well. But again, getting into town by bike is going to be a bit more tricky, but you can always take the van. So this would be my top 3 tip, you know, Patacona Beach, Malvarosa and El Saler, Playa El Saler. And number 5, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about parking, van lifing it in city center of Valencia. Is it possible? So annoyed about. I mean, I say annoyed, but to be quite honest, in the end it all worked out fine. But I ended up here outside Valencia because on the Park for Night website it had the following message on most of the parking possibilities in Valencia City, and it says, attention, Valencia City Council has issued a decree that prohibits all vehicles of the habitable type to park in the city under pain of being verbalized. Motorhomes are tolerated for a time limit not exceeding 24 hours. So that is the reason basically I ended up in Patacona Beach, Alboraya, because, you know, it's just outside the Valencia area, and then this rule doesn't apply. Then I got started talking to other van people in the area and other people who actually are just residents in Valencia, and they sort of said that this was a misconception. When they talk about this rule, it is about camping, and what does camping actually means according to the Valencian rules, or maybe even the Spanish rules. Camping means that if you put outside a table, a chair, your awning, your solar panels, that's what they call camping, and that's the one that they don't tolerate in town, which I think is a valid reason, to be quite honest. Some people misuse the system or abuse the system, and that's why we get a bad reputation. Now I have to admit, it's the Spanish that really break those rules the most, I've noticed, but don't tell anyone. Then I also inquired if I put up my pop-up roof, would that be a problem? And again, hearsay, but people in the know say that that is not the problem, because you don't change the parameters of your van. That's still your 4 wheels, your basic structure. You don't go outside, you just go up, and up is okay. So if you've got solar panels on top of the roof, that's okay. If you install it in front or at the back of your vehicle, that's not okay. So finally discovering that after 2.5 weeks, I could have easily parked in Valencia City. Now there's a problem with Valencia City. It's noisy. It's a city in the evening that lives at night, so maybe sleeping there is not such a great choice. Now, doing some research, I went back onto Park for Night because I really wanted to get the wording right. And overnight, and I'm not sure what happened, but overnight all of a sudden those notifications about attention, the Valencia City Council, they've all disappeared. So I don't know if Park for Night all of a sudden got wind of this and sort of said like, oh no, this rule doesn't apply, or this rule is not the way people try to make it out. So I don't know what happened there. But all in all, I'm happy that I'm here, but do not be afraid or do not be taken aback by this notification should you see it somewhere. It just means camping, and camping actually really means, you know, be a camper and put everything outside and hang up your laundry and you know, do your dishes outside and all that. No, they don't tolerate that in town, and I find that more than acceptable. I live inside my van, I sleep inside my van, I don't bother anybody, and I don't really, unless you call this little table where I've got my coffee on here now, unless you'd call that you know, extending, but normally I really don't extend anything to the outside. So I can and I should, and maybe I will go and park in Valencia City, downtown, for 1 or 2 nights. I'll keep you posted on that.